You ever played around with this?
No, but I can figure out what's
So
going to
here you are, young, middle-aged, older. Okay. And light on. Reading glasses. Everything is bigger, but not so clear. Glare filter. Not so much. Okay. X. None. Mild. Severe. Mild. Lighting makes it worse. Reading glasses makes it bigger. Glare filter helps a little bit. Yeah? Glaucoma. Glasses on, clear filter, macular degeneration, lighting, glasses, clear filter, turn the lights on, diabetic retinopathy. And lighting actually makes it worse. Glasses make it bigger. Clear filter, yeah, that's a little bit. Doesn't get rid of spots. That was a little clear. Many of you look slightly ill.
Is age a separate one over there?
Yeah.
No, oh, it is?
Up here.
Yeah.
That's where we started.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Reactions? Gotcha.
I have a question. With macular degeneration, do you just learn to kind of look at things on the side of your vision field so that you can see it, or is that just too difficult?
Probably the best you're going to be able to do, but it's not easy.
I don't know if it's like, does it become habit, or is it something like you have to continually work at to remember to do?
I think both is probably the straightforward answer. I mean, I think, some people who work at it, I think it gets to be more habitual, but I think it's always real hard because there is so much in your visual field that's messed up. So it's not like practice actually, compensates completely, but can you get used to trying to use whatever vision you can? Sort of.
Okay. Well, I just meant like with the phone example,
Yeah.
it was like the dark spot's right where you need to call.
So you have to think about using your phone like this. One of the things I do find perplexing about a lot of the changes that you see with older adults in later life is that there are a lot of rehabilitative strategies and for lack of a better word, technologies, although some of them are not very technological, that can help you to do things as you become visually impaired. And a lot of times older adults or families and people working with older adults don't seem to draw on that literature, those skills, those devices at all. And we had one little back and forth on the online discussion this last week about somebody whose older relative had really liked to read, and she's got some visual problems now with aging, and she's given up reading. But I said, well, how about listening to books on tape or CD? How about large print books? And it's interesting with things as simple as that how many people don't think about. And I think some of it has to do with if you attribute the cause of something to age, it's so obvious that you can't do anything about aging. And we're not going to make you younger again. So there's nothing you can do. And so it doesn't occur to people, but if you frame it as you're visually impaired, well, there's stuff you can do about visual impairment. You can't always fix it, but there are ways of being able to do things that you used to do up to a point with visual or replacing those activities.
They're also low, my mom has macular degeneration, and they're low vision centers, so it's like you said, there are things out there for people, and that people just don't know that they exist.
I think a lot of people probably know, but just don't make the connection.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I never knew there was such a thing as a low vision center. I mean, like you can get magnifying things. You can put your books under something that magnifies it on a large screen, or there's different kind of lights that you can use. She has these things that she wears sometimes that look like binoculars that you wear to watch your TV. I mean, so
That's a lot of stuff.
there is a lot of stuff.
Other reactions? Yeah.
Given the amount of research that we're doing on aging populations in the elderly, and that we're so focused on differences between the young and the old,
Yeah.
what do you think that that has to do with quality of life for them and their perceptions of themselves and perceptions from younger people to older people? Because it seems like even when you're listening to NPR or pick up the newspaper, there's always things on aging and the baby boomers and oh my gosh, you know, the sky is falling down. But how they perceive themselves when all we're talking about is like you're getting slower, your vision's worse. Like, it seems like they would experience that more frequently because they're expecting to experience it now. Because it's so advertised to them that it's going to be, and that would have quality of life and discrimination implications there.
It's a great question. I think it's a very complicated question. Or at least I'm going to complicate it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just read it, and it, I mean, as a scientist, you're like, oh, that's interesting, but then I still think, like, oh, gosh, this is making me feel worse about, you know?
Well, I think there's, first of all, I think actually the science and even a lot of the media coverage of aging is not uniformly negative. I think there's also there is also a lot of positive information. It doesn't happen to be in this part of the class, but there is a lot of there's some stuff in this part that's reassuring too, but it does seem to fall out that a lot of the really negative stuff in here for so I think that there are positive messages both in the science and I think even in the media you see some positive effects, and I think you can see sort of positive stereotypes of aging out there as well as negative stereotypes of aging. I also think that in general, like understanding the problems is an important step towards helping. In the sense, and actually, I came out of, for whatever set of reasons, I came out of my doctoral training with a real positive aging kind of focus, especially when I would go into the community to talk to older adults. And one of the things that the older adults in the audience has taught me pretty quickly was that they thought that a uniformly positive perspective on aging showed that I didn't know what it was. And that actually a more, people don't want a negative, an unrelentingly negative perspective either, but I think aging isn't all positive, and a lot of the day in, day out experience of aging is hard, and in general, I find people need some acknowledgement of that as part of both knowing that you understand what's going on, and also having confidence in like the rest of what you have to say about ways to deal with it and have more quality of life. It's something like, with some of the things that we were just talking about, I think it's, you need to understand both the normal and the pathological changes in vision to work accurately with older adults. And you also need to know that in order to help the people that really have serious visual problems,